So hello guys, this is the deck section of the TSI. Is divided in two. You have these 4 rows is one deck, and these other 4 rows are the other deck. They have this matrix that is 8 by 5. This section is the effect section we will be seeing later. There we have play, cue, pitch bending, also tempo, sync, and master. Advanced, this is like a shift button that you use to get another functions of these buttons. You have these 4 buttons here to select your loop length. We have here 1 bar, 2 bars, 4, 8 bars, and if we press the advance, we get the lower numbers. This is 1.5, 1.4, 1.8, and 1.16. The button that is green lighted is the currently selected. Then we have the cue point section. Then it is we have our AQ points, as we can see. We can set, select, and even erase a cue point. If we press 1, it will load the store or select that cue point. If we press advance and the cue point, it will erase it. The normal color of these buttons are orange, but when a cue point is loaded, it will be turned on green. Also, we here right now are controlling the decks A and B. So we have 4 rows for deck A and 4 rows for deck B. We can change that in a style like the tier 1, the Vextax tier 1, and for that we use these 4 buttons here. So we can toggle between deck A and C and between deck B and D. If I press this button, I will go to deck C on this part. Okay, so now I'm controlling deck C here, and if I press here, I'm controlling deck D right now. So we can take an example for that. We're on deck D. Let's set a 8-bar loop, or let's select that length, and if we change to deck B, we can see right now that it's changing. I'm gonna press it again, and the mapping records what was the last press it button. It also works for the deck A and C, so you can toggle between A and C and B and D. That's it for the deck controls. Now we have our mixer control. So the mixer controller section is this part right here and this one. Okay, so let's start with this one. I painted the faders on red and removed the other ones because I'm not using them. So we have channel or deck A, deck C, deck B, and deck D. There are 2 rows for each of them. So we have volume faders that control the volume of each deck. We have here to route to effect 1, effect 2. We have a slice and echo effects. So here we can control the routes to the audio to the effect banks. Also, this button here lights up to the beat, so we can have a beat match of all of our tracks. Also here, this fader controls the slice effect. Okay, so it controls the parameters on it. The Q level encoder works for each functions of the mapping that I will show you later. The crossfader works for the echo effect that we can route. Okay, this button here allows me to freeze that effect. This button, we already talked about them. Here we have our queuing buttons. Let's queue deck A, C, B, and D. Now for the EQing, I have these all these knobs. Here we have for low, mids, and highs, and it goes like also like the channels that I show you with the volume faders. It is deck A, deck C, B, and D. Okay, so also we have here filters. Okay, so if you want to use some filters, in this low part, these 4 buttons, we have loop set. If we want to activate a loop, also for deck A, C, B, and D. I put them here because we don't have control of the four decks all the time with the deck button. So I want to set loops without having the deck right here on the this section. Okay, I can be working with deck B and set a loop on deck D, for instance. So let's talk about the effects section here. Well, some of the stickers that I put on, they slip away, so I have to put them again. But it works this way. Okay, so we have reverb. This one is an filter 92 LFO Gator. This one is, I think it is a delay sampler and beat matcher. So I have also two buttons that work in the toggle way. They are effect 2 and this is effect 1. So if I want to send any of these effects to effect bank 2, I press the button and then I load a sampler into effect 2. If I want to load the beat masher, I load the beat masher. If I want to load the delay, I can load it any way I want to into effect 2. If I want to load it to effect 1, I can press reverb and I have a reverb now on the effects 1. This part, it works in conjunction with the LPD8. I have to use it to control my effects. So as we can see here, I have a modifier LPD8. This is just some tape that I put on to identify the two banks. I changed the knobs because I thought the standard knobs are too short to manipulate them. So we have the 4 knobs for effect bank 1 and for effect bank 2. Also we have these 4 pads that work in 2 ways. If we are in pad mode, they work for different levels of one parameter of the effect. For instance, for beat masher, the last knob is the length, or for the gator is the rate that you use. So you can use the knob, or in this mode you can use the pads to use different values of that parameter. But if you press the CC mode, it works for the buttons of the effect. Okay, so you can turn off or on your effects, and even so you can use it for it. So it works in a toggle way that with pad you have different control. For navigation, we use in conjunction with these buttons the Q level button encoder. So we use these two to move through our list, these two through our favorites. This button allows us to go to browser toggle browser mode, and this 2 works for loading to deck A or B. But if we press Shift, it loads to deck C and D. Also, if we press Shift and we use these 2 buttons, we can go through our tree. If normally we use the Q lever encoder or super knob, like I like to call it, we can search through our list. If we press Shift, we can search through our tree. So it's very effective, that control right there.